we have circles. This helps with PW96. The definition of a circle is that it is a closed plane figure made up of points the same distance from the center. So guess what? The center of the circle is in the center. It's pretty tricky, I know. We'll call this point, point A. In fact, you can name circles by their center. So we can just call this circle A. Your first term is a chord, C-H-O-R-D. A chord is a line segment with endpoints on the circle. They can be anywhere on the circle. So if we put a point right here and call it point R, and put another point here and call it T, and connect them, that is a chord, a line segment with endpoints anywhere on the circle. We could do another one over here. Let's name it V. And let's connect T and V. T and V is a chord. Chord TV, TV. Chord RT. Chord RV. If you go camping in your RV, you might watch some TV. Maybe. Next definition. Diameter is a chord that passes through the center. So let's just start with the point we already made, point R. We'll make another point over here and call it S. And we're going to go through point A this time because the diameter has to go all the way through the center to the other side. Again, there are an infinite amount of places you can draw any of these chords because you can draw a line connecting any side of the circle going through the center. The diameter helps us measure the size of a circle because when we know how long the length of the diameter is, we can say how big the circle is. So this is diameter. Our diameter in this is line segment RS. And finally, radius. Radius is a line segment with one endpoint at the center and the other on the circle. So each half of the diameter is a radius. RA is a radius. I've got some kids in the room with me while I'm filming today. And SA is a radius because they go from the end of the circle to the center. We can just draw another one. Hi Leo, what letter should we call this? Should we call it L? Point L? Okay.
Now orange.
Point L, line segment LA is also a radius. All right, good luck with PW96. Hello, fourth grade. It's time for more math notes. Today I'm teaching you from my made-up classroom at the Heiliger House. So the lighting is not great. The board is a little bit smaller, but you should be getting the same information. So get those math journals ready. And we're going to learn about quadrilaterals, which will help you do PW94. It's really exciting stuff, lots of pictures. Just like with the last ones, if you need to pause me or zoom in so that you can see the notes, I'll try to make sure I'm not standing in the same place every time. And you can get those notes, but I'll just explain them to you as I would at school. Remember quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals are four-sided plane figures. And you need to remember what this symbol is. Remember back at our line relationships, we talked about parallel lines. I'm going to redraw that. Parallel lines will never ever meet, and they will always be the same distance apart. I'm going to use that little symbol in this whenever I want to say parallel so that we don't have to write the whole word. There are three different kinds of quadrilaterals. There is a general quadrilateral, which has no parallel sides. It might look something like this. You might have a line this way, that way, you'll notice that eventually all of those lines are going to meet if they were to keep going. So a general quadrilateral is any four-sided figure you can draw with straight sides that has no parallel sides. A trapezoid is a quadrilateral. You guys should try to say that as many times as fast as you can. See how many times you can get it out. Quadrilateral. And it's not so hard. A trapezoid has one pair of parallel sides. So these two sides are going to be parallel, but the other sides probably go at some kind of an angle, and they will meet up with each other if they were to keep going. A parallelogram has two pairs of parallel sides, and the opposite sides are equal in length. Let's see how good my parallelogram skills are. One set of parallel sides. All right, I did my best. You've got to imagine that these two sides are going to be equal in length, and they are parallel, they'll never meet. These two sides are equal in length, they're parallel, they will never meet. Now, those are the three main types of quadrilaterals, but you'll see this whole chart gets bigger when you get to parallelograms because there are three other classifications of parallelograms. I'm going to switch colors for you. The rhombus is a parallelogram because it has two pairs of parallel sides, and the opposite sides are equal, but actually in a rhombus, all four sides are equal in length. This one is really hard to draw, but I'm going to try. It crossed over my letters. That's okay. Two pairs of parallel sides. Opposite sides are equal in length, which is the definition of parallelogram. But if we measured all of them and they were also equal in length, they would be a rhombus. A rectangle has two pairs of parallel sides. The opposite sides are equal, and it has four right angles. The rectangle you are familiar with. Here's those right angles in there. And now I've left the last one for you to guess before I get to it. It is a parallelogram. It is also a rhombus. It is also a rectangle, but we've got a new shape down here. It has two pairs of parallel sides. It has all four sides are equal in length, and it has four right angles. Do you know what geometric shape we're talking about here? Okay, if you guessed square, you are correct. I know it's probably not a perfect square, but you get the idea. Four equal sides, two pairs of parallel sides, these will never touch, and four right angles. So, the tricky thing, when you're looking at your worksheet, it asks you to classify the quadrilaterals in as many different ways as possible. If you have a shape, you see, that looks like number 5 on your worksheet. PW94, number 5, and it is that shape. They are looking for at least a couple of different answers. You can call that one, sorry for moving around so much, you can call it a rhombus, you can call it a parallelogram, and we all know they're quadrilaterals, so you could also add quadrilateral, but it can be named for 3 different things. When you see a shape that looks like a square, you can call it, I never said square right here. Whoops. Yay, square. See, I make mistakes when I'm on video just like I do in class, but I don't have you guys to keep me on track. Square. So, if you see a shape that looks like a square, you can call it a square, a rhombus, a rectangle, a parallelogram, and a quadrilateral. Hopefully that helps. Good luck with PW94, and next up is circles.